women's race, another American superstar, Olympic medalist Emma Corburn, and a dozen, that's right, a dozen Paris Olympians, plus hundreds of future running stars, and a rivalry race between New York's finest and New York's bravest. Live coverage of the New Balance Fifth Avenue Mile starts right now. Yes, on this first football Sunday of the season, we bring you a competition of a different sort, and we promise it's just as fun. We are coming to you live from New York City for the 2024 New Balance Fifth Avenue Mile. Happy Sunday afternoon, everybody. I'm Ryan Field. Thanks so much for being with us here today for one of the most iconic races that is run in this city. I'm coming to you live from the start line here on East 80th Street. The finish line, 20 blocks south at Fifth Avenue and Central Park South. We got a whole lot to get to here today as we talk about the 43rd running of this Fifth Avenue New Balance Mile. Fifth Avenue Mile, I should say. And it's a first for us here because we are televising it live on Channel 7 and with our friends on ESPN+. You talk about the history of this great race. It goes all the way back to 1981. The very first men's champion was an 8-time NCAA All-American from Villanova and still the course record holder, American Sydney Marie. The women's course record was reset just 2 years ago by an Olympic silver medalist from Great Britain in Laura Muir. When it comes to titles, the man with the most of them is Nick Willis of New Zealand. While on the women's side, a remarkable feat was set by the USA's Jenny Simpson. She is an 8-time winner here. There is more history to be written here today. We have 2 great professional races, plus several heats with hundreds of more races, including the youth races, as well as a showdown between the FDNY and the NYPD. Before we get to all that, let's introduce the team calling today's race. My partner in crime over at Channel 7, Sam Ryan. She's joined by U.S. Olympian Carrie Tullifson and Olympic bronze medalist Alicia Montano. Welcome, ladies. Happy Sunday.
Hey there, Ryan. We are here at the finish line where the excitement is electric. It is building as we get set for the pro races coming your way momentarily. We have Olympians in the booth and we have Olympians on the course, more than 20 of them today. Let's look first at the men's races, and a defending champ is here today in Josh Kerr, running it last year in his time of 3:47.9. That was the 3rd fastest time in event history, and he says he's a few ideas for this year's race.
Well, he loves to race. We know that. He really loves racing when the time can be thrown out the door, and he said he has been thinking about this race since last year. So you know that this man, who has such a great resume, is coming here to the streets of New York to put on a show.
Olympic silver medalist this year, and plenty of Olympians here on the course in the men's field.
Yes, we can't discount Neil Gorley, who is also a 3:47 miler in and of itself. And we have the Americans, Bryce Hoppel and Hobbs Kessler. Hobbs Kessler was the first American man to make it in both the 800 and the 15. Both very, very quick out here and going to give Josh Kerr a run for his money.
A brief look at the men's pro field. Let's look at the women's pro fields, and a familiar face making her return today in Emma Corburn, who's been out since April with a broken ankle. She had surgery, and as you see, she is a 10-time national champ, making her return to racing here today.
Yeah, you know, she's been here and placed in the top 10 4 different times. This woman loves to run here in New York City, but everyone is wondering how she's doing. She's been putting in so much work to get back here, and she's a New Balance athlete, and everyone loves to see her running on the streets here.
Talk about Olympians, and let's talk about U.S. Olympians on the women's side.
Yes, we have 5 U.S. Olympians here on the women's side, ranging all the way from the mile to the 10,000 meters. Of course, Emily McKay, true to this distance, but we can't discount our 3,000 meter steeplechasers and our 10,000 meter runner, especially with Carissa Schweitzer with the very, very quick kick.
So much more to come from the men's pro field and the women's pro field. Plus, we will hear from a few of the athletes coming up. But so many other races going on today, Ryan. Other heats as well. And I know you have more on that. Let's send it back to you for now.
All right, ladies. Reese, thank you. Yeah, we have 30 races in total. In fact, more of those, including races that include 8,000 runners in all age groups and specialties. We're excited to bring you all of that right here on Channel 7 and ESPN+. Now we welcome in the 5th member of our broadcast team. All the way down at the finish line, 20 blocks south from us, is Miss Allie Feller. What's going on, Allie?
Hello. I know that everything is fun up at the start, but the party, I gotta tell you, is here at the finish. You can't help but notice that every single runner today, from the earliest runners this morning right up to these professional fields, they are finishing to deafening applause. The crowds always come out for this race. Look, we love the marathon, we love the longer races, but this is spectator friendly. The friends and families love coming out and cheering for their runners as they fly by. I think I might have had the loudest cheers of the day for my 5-year-old daughter who ran in one of the youth heats earlier, but truly the vibes are good. Everyone's happy. We have a beautiful day for this today. What more could you want? Thrilled to be here at the 5th Ave Mile. Back to you.
All right, Allie, and we are thrilled to have you along here with us on this Sunday afternoon. So many great races ahead, coming to you live from the streets of New York City. Plenty more of the New Balance 5th Avenue Mile when we return here on Channel 7 and ESPN+.
The New Balance 5th Avenue Mile on ABC-7 is sponsored by New Balance. We got now.
What you got to say? Say hey, hey, hey. Hollywood. Hollywood's winning. New Balance. We got now.
At TD Bank, we see millions of transactions, but it's the humans behind them that matter most. It's why we're leaders, with guidance and solutions that put people at the center. That's how every TD employee helps make our bank the greet you and your dog by your name, open longer when you need us kind of place. Because believing people matter most is how we're making banking unexpectedly human.
Good news travels fast, literally. Optimum now has the fastest internet. PC Magazine named us the best and fastest internet provider. And Ookla ranked Optimum fiber speeds the fastest and most reliable. See for yourself and get fiber internet starting at only $40 a month. Not convinced yet? Check out what your neighbors are saying. Don't be the last to know. Switch to Optimum and save over $800 a year compared to Verizon. Get fiber internet starting at only $40 a month. Call 888-4-OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com.
For show and tell, I brought Eyewitness News this morning.
That's right. We bring you breaking news.
All across the tri-state.
We do everything it takes to start your day right.
Even math homework?
Almost everything.
Back to school means back to your morning routine with Eyewitness News. Tomorrow morning, starting at 4:30 on Channel 7.
It's New York City's biggest day and the world's biggest race, the TCS New York City Marathon. It comes to you live right here on Channel 7 and nationally over on ESPN2. Live coverage of the great race begins at 8 a.m. Sunday, November 3rd, just 8 weeks from today. And speaking of the marathon, earlier New Balance and its Unlocked 26.2 marathon training program held its own 1-mile race. The race featured dozens of runners training for this year's marathon, which, yes, hard to believe, is just 8 weeks from today. We are coming to you live from the streets of New York City here on 5th Avenue for the New Balance New York City 5th Avenue Mile. Another special runner running in today's race is a 7-year-old from Queens named Carissa. Today marks the 1-year anniversary that Carissa entered the Rising New York Roadrunners Youth Wheelchair Training Program. Well, she has participated in just about every New York Roadrunners youth race since that time, and earlier this week, she shared with us her story.
The 5th Avenue Mile has no shortage of big names. 20 Olympians will be among the thousands racing down the iconic Manhattan Street, including Josh Kerr, the defending champ and silver medalist at the Paris Olympics. But the most inspirational? Well, that's got to be 7-year-old Carissa Monarong. The daughter of Indonesian immigrants, Carissa was born with spina bifida, a rare birth defect that had left her unable to use her legs, forcing her to spend her young life in a wheelchair. The family moved to New York 2 years ago when her father, Hodma, came across the New York Roadrunners Instagram page. There he saw children taking part in wheelchair races and immediately saw an opportunity for his little girl.
She didn't have any friends before with a wheelchair. She got to know many friends with a wheelchair too. So yeah, it's been so great for her.
In just the short time she's been racing, her parents say they already notice a difference, not just in her times, but in her personality.
Her confidence level boosted up so much, like her coming out of her shell and being confident, and then she loves it so much.
This will be the first time Carissa will take part in the Fifth Avenue Mile. She says she can't wait to cross that finish line with her whole family there cheering her on.
It's a very powerful moment for us. Seeing her going and going and going, I kept yelling. I'm a loud person, so yeah, I said, go, 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 Carissa, you can do it, you can do it. I'm so proud of you.
Carissa raced again today in the youth wheelchair division of the Back to School Mile, one of the many youth races that ran down Fifth Avenue today. This race is just one of the many New York Roadrunner races each year that showcases the transformative power of running for people of all ages and abilities. Okay, now switching gears. They are known as New York's finest and New York's bravest, the NYPD and the FDNY, a rivalry that has made its way into the sport of running now yet again here at the Fifth Avenue Mile, and some of them caught up with our Ryan Field today.
All right, Sam, thanks. The competition within the competition, if you will, today is between the NYPD and the FDNY. I am here with two members of New York's finest, Anthony and Kirsten. And Kirsten, why is this so important for the NYPD today when you guys race against the FDNY?
It's so important because it's important to prove that we're better than the FDNY and that we work harder, so.
And what kind of training has gone into this, Anthony, to prove that NYPD will come out on top here today?
Well, we're in the middle of marathon season, so it's kind of tough running a fast mile, but, you know, it's always close to 9/11, which we never want to forget about, you know, those that have lost their life during this time or this day. So it's a special day for all of us, NYPD and FDNY. We wish them the best of luck, but, of course, hope we're on top.
Obviously, 9/11 is on the thoughts of many here today. When you talk about your preps in terms of firing up the squad, what goes into that as you guys get ready to tackle this mile here on Fifth Avenue?
You know, just getting the team together and really, like, boosting the camaraderie and just showing that, like, you know, it's about putting your best mile out there.
You know, NYPD leads this event 4-1. Is that no coincidence why the FDNY did not show up for this interview today? We should point that out, Anthony.
Let's make it 5 this year.
Let's make it 5. We'll see how it all unfolds, Sam. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Ryan, let's watch it unfold right now. The NYPD against FDNY as they are getting ready for this race along Fifth Avenue. And look at NYPD strong here. Guys, you heard Ryan say FDNY did not show up for the interview. NYPD looking like they're going 5-1 now in this competition.
You know, we love what they do for this city, and it's so much fun to see them hammer home here at the Fifth Avenue Mile.
As they are racing and having fun, and they talked about the camaraderie, and it's a friendly rivalry, of course, between them. But we will turn our attention now back to the pro field. We talked about the men and the women a little bit earlier, but let's take a closer look at some of the athletes to watch this afternoon here along the Fifth Avenue Mile. We told you about Emma Coburn, but look who else is racing today.
Yeah, we have Susan Ajuri here. She is the Kenyan indoor mile record holder with 4:20. She's very, very fast, and she's looking to come out here today and really show what her season has really, you know, culminated to do.
And Emily Mackay has had a phenomenal year. She was not only the bronze medalist indoors, but she also won the bronze medal last year at the Pan American Games. I mean, every time she toes a line, it's like she surprises herself. And now we aren't surprised anymore. We've been watching her just crush it this year.
The most accomplished female athlete from Binghamton University. But let's go back to Emma Coburn now, and our Allie Feller caught up with her moments ago.
I am here with one of the most decorated U.S. track athletes of our time, Emma Coburn. Emma, we're so happy to have you here today. 4 months ago, you break your ankle. I have to imagine a pretty big disappointment, but we're so happy to see you back here today. What has it taken to get you to the start line here at Fifth Ave?
Yeah, 2024 did not quite go as I had imagined when I broke my ankle and had surgery in May. So I am just so thrilled to have this race and sprint down Fifth Avenue as fast as I can. It's been a big 4 months of a lot of work and cross training and rehab to get here. So I'm just, proud of the work and excited for the opportunity to kind of show it off and see where I'm at.
And the work was a lot of work, a lot of time on the bike. What was your longest session you put in on that stationary bike?
I did several 6-hour bike rides with several weeks of 30 hours of like cardio work of biking and running per week. So it was a lot of exercise. And then on top of that, rehab and drills and plyometrics, all of that kind of stuff to make sure I'm ready. So I definitely put the work in, and I'm just excited for a chance to sprint down Fifth Ave.
Yeah, this is your Fifth Avenue mile. As a lot of runners' seasons are winding down, this is your season opener. Why this race?
I have run this before, and the energy in New York for any competition is always great, but it is, it's so special. I feel like the mile is such a unifying event where there's kids racing, there's citizens racing. Everyone has probably run a mile in their life, whether it was in gym class growing up or, as hard as they can as a professional. So I think this event specifically, being a mile, being a road race here in New York, there's just such an energy and a camaraderie between not only the pro athletes, but with the citizens racing. So it's a really fun, special event.
Emma Coburn, you're back. We are so happy to have you. Good luck today.
Thanks, Allie.
Thanks so much, Allie. So exciting to watch Emma, to see what she can do in her return. And she talked about the energy here in New York. How emotional is this going to be for her?
I think it's going to be huge. I mean, for her to not be able to be on that Olympic team, and we all thought she would be the one in the steeplechase. So we're excited that she's back and healthy and kicking it off here, regardless of where she finishes.
What do you look for from her?
Emma is so emotionally tough. I know that she's going to come out here and she's going to show us what Emma is really made of. She is so strong, and everyone that ever toes a line with her knows that.
Emma making her return to racing for the first time since April. Oh, we have a defending champ here making his return on the men's side. So let's take a deeper look at the men's professional field. We talked about Josh Kerr a little bit earlier about the defending champ.
Yeah, we also have Bryce Hoppel, our 800-meter specialist, and our newly minted American record holder. At the end of this race, when everyone is trying to hold on for whatever they have left, you cannot discount our 800-meter runners and their leg speed.
No, but then you have Hobbs Kessler. They trained together, Bryce and Hobbs won the World Mile Championships last year. What was the world record then? Just got broke a week ago, but he is the 8 and 1500-meter American Olympian that's coming here. I saw them both yesterday, and they are pumped. They are excited to race.
And for Hobbs, it's his first New York Road Runners race this afternoon. Not the first for Josh Kerr. We talked about him a little earlier. He is the defending champ, and he caught up with our Allie Feller.
I am here with Josh Kerr, our defending champion and one of the fastest men at this distance. Josh, we're so happy to have you here today. Of course, fresh off the Olympics, can you bring us back to that 1500 in Paris and some of your reflections on that race?
Yeah, I mean, an amazing race, obviously an Olympic record. So, when you're wanting to really get it right on the right day, I felt like I did that, ran a big PB, and, I've tried to keep that momentum going and try and put a performance out there today that I'll be proud of.
As our defending champion, you of course know what it feels like to break that tape here on Fifth Avenue. What's it going to take to do that again today?
Yeah, it's a great field. I think it's a pretty deep field as well. It looks like we got a tailwind, so I'm going to really open that stride up the last 800 and see what we got in the last 600.
Well, we are so excited to have you. What is it that you love about the Fifth Ave Mile?
I mean, this energy is absolutely electric. I'm excited to, I don't get to do a road mile all that often, a straight shot, and I think it's a different pain that we normally get on the track as well. So, yeah, we've got to judge it right, but yeah, I mean, look, running down Fifth Avenue in the middle of New York, it's nothing else really like it.
Well, we love having you here. Good luck out there. Have some fun. Enjoy that different kind of pain. We'll be cheering for you. Thanks, Josh.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And we thank Allie, and we're looking forward to seeing Josh Kerr. The pro race is just moments away, but before we head to break, we will take a moment as the running community with heavy hearts this week, as their minds are elsewhere right now, remembering one of their own as we take a look at this, the loss of Rebecca Cheptegei this week.
Yeah, she was such a star and so young, and it was just heartbreaking to hear of her passing.
And, you know, if we're looking for anything that we can do, I think if there's an opportunity to donate to Tear Off's Angels, that would be something that, you know, we can do that's actionable.
We'll be right back.
The New Balance 5th Avenue Mile on ABC7 is sponsored by New Balance. We got now.
Women 40 and older should get a mammogram at least every 2 years. Why?
Black women are more likely to die from breast cancer.
Mammograms can find cancer early, when it may be easier to treat.
Talk to your healthcare provider. I did.
Where you try to take over the interview.
I wanted to ask you a couple questions about your weekend.
And TV legend Vanna White tells us about the new season of Wheel of Fortune.
It's such a great show. It's a happy show. We wouldn't be here without you for 40 years, so thank you all.
Plus James McAvoy from Speak No Evil.
Watch live tomorrow morning at 9
on ABC7.
Welcome back to the New Balance 5th Avenue Mile. Here are some professional athletes today, then and now. Can you recognize them? How great are these pictures? There's Eric Holt with his fur baby and then racing down 5th Avenue. Emily Mackay, we talked about her a little bit earlier, from Binghamton. And there she is, wearing her Boys and Girls Club shirt. Matt Wilkinson, he is rocking the 5th Avenue Mile. Now, speaking of youth running, as we take a look at the pros then and now, earlier it was the back-to-school mile for ages 2 through 11. We saw Allie Feller there. There's her daughter, Annie. A high five for mom after she completed this one. Like a champ, youth running is a huge part of New York Roadrunners' vision. It's to build healthier lives and stronger communities through the transformative power of running, serving nearly 500,000 New Yorkers annually through its free community events, youth running initiatives, and school-based programs across the 5 boroughs. So much energy and all those smiling faces right here in New York City along 5th Avenue. This morning and this afternoon, courtesy of New York Roadrunners. And Ryan, the excitement builds right on into the New York City Marathon season. We turn it over to Ryan with more.
All right, Sam, thanks. Here with the race director of the TCS New York City Marathon, Ted Metellus. Ted, what a great day for this great event here today. We've got professional runners. We have youth runners. Talk about the uniqueness of this event.
Well, it's amazing. I mean, you have young folks that are out here as young as 2-year-olds. We just had our seniors take off, 70-plus-year-olds that are out here doing a mile. And we'll be capping it off with our professional athletes here. So when you think about what New York Roadrunners does, year in and year out, day in and day out, you're seeing it here today.
And we talk about the youth runners and the the importance of the New York Road Runners and all of the youth programs you guys do throughout the year. How much pride do you take in that, and how important is that for you and the Road Runners itself?
Well, the energy that you receive by seeing those little people out there running with their parents and folks that are standing alongside cheering them on is incredible. Our Rising New York Road Runners programs are free throughout the New York City area, all around our events, all through the parks in the city as well. But today is extra special. We have the back-to-school miles. We got our kids out there kicking it off, and what better way to start off the school year?
8 weeks from today, the TCS New York City Marathon. Hard to believe it is just around the corner. Are we ready? Where are we in preparations for that great race?
56 days and counting. You know, we're looking for a day similar to today. So maybe a little less wind, a little cooler, but a perfect day nonetheless. We're excited to have a great field of over 53,000 athletes from all over the world that will be running with us in partnership with the city and all the agency partners. We're looking for a great day.
You'll see Ted at the finish line in Central Park at the TCS New York City Marathon. Today, he's at the start line, and he is
bringing some bubbles and bringing some good energy. You know, the energy you give is the energy you receive. That's the mantra there. So as a, nonprofit running organization here in New York City, it's all about giving back and keeping people moving.
What a great day for this. Bubbles and all, Sam. We'll send it back to you.
Tiny bubbles. We love it. New York Road Runners, the TCS New York City Marathon, just right around the corner. Right now, we are getting ready for the Fifth Avenue Mile. The road races, the pro fields, and the women's race just moments away. But first, let's take a look at the course map here. We know it's a mile, and we know it's along Fifth Avenue, but it could be a little tricky, too, as we take a look at this, because there's some sneaky incline, right?
Sneaky is a really good way to put it. Yeah, you start off there on 80th, and you start a little bit on a downhill slope. Then you're going to start to climb up the second quarter, and you really want to keep yourself calm and patient, because that second half, it's a something.
Yes, and these athletes are going to be really looking for that half-mile mark, because at that moment, there's an opportunity for a bonus.
Yep.
And then once you hit that little incline, you're going to start walking yourself, or running yourself, I should say, downhill, and then looking straight on to the finish line for another quarter mile. And that finish line takes some time to get there, especially when your legs start burning.
I know you guys actually did a little course preview yesterday and ran it. What did you take away from that?
Well, we remember when we raced it even too, that you see that finish line from a long ways out, so you really have to be calculated for when you make that final push. But it was fun to go back down memory lane.
Yep, it's going to be faster than you think that it is.
It's finished in just 1 mile. So let's take a look back at our top stories as we get set for the women's pro race here at the Fifth Avenue New Balance Mile. And there they are.
Well, yeah, as we said, Heather McLean, she is someone to really watch. She missed the Olympic team this year. She's had some ups and downs, but she is coming around right in time. I really like how Heather has just kept positive and excited about what she's doing. She's made the Olympic team before. She was there in Tokyo, but today is her time to see where she's at.
Yes, and absolutely. You know, again, we see Emily McKay here, who is training with Heather McLean, and, Heather's going to be really going off of that. And again, Carissa Schweitzer, we see here, who made the Paris 2024 team in both the 5,000 and the 10,000. And again, I talked about how fast her leg speed actually is, and she can't be discounted as one of the people to watch to take the tape.
Still a few minutes away from the start of the women's pro mile. Here's a look at everybody in the field, too. They're all lined up there. They're getting ready to go. They're hearing their instructions. Let's take a look at the pro field here.
Yeah, we saw Sarah Healy and Melissa Courtney Bryant. Sarah Healy was second last year. She's coming off the Olympic Games. Melissa Courtney Bryant was third, missed her Olympic team, but is in very good shape. So we do know when you have experience on this course, you better watch out.
Yep, and previous to this, we've talked about Jenny Simpson, who has won the Fifth Avenue Mile 8 times total, and then after that, it's been a little bit of a U.S. drought with the Team GB. So we should be looking towards Melissa Courtney Bryant to maybe take that back for Team GB.
You can hear the excitement. You can hear the cheering, those final photos before this 1 mile race. Now, what is the strategy here? Because it's fast. It's a mile. We talked about the course. What's going through their minds right now as they're lined up and they know it's just a mile?
Well, I like where they're at right now. You can see some people are super serious, but other people are smiling, and that's exactly what it is right now at this point in the race, or in this part of the season. Some people are coming off of a break. Some are really, really fresh, and it's just going to be a fun race. I think the women's race is a little bit tighter.
I think one of my favorite things about Fifth Avenue Mile is that it truly is a celebration, and I think this, no matter what, whether you're out here to PB or you're out here to just finish off your season, we're here to celebrate.
And here we go as they get ready to hear the gun sound for the 5th Avenue Mile, the women's pro race. And here they're lined up. They toe the line and they're off.
Breath of fresh air right here, right? I mean, it is still a mile to go, but they are off, and that gun sometimes is the best noise you can hear.
Absolutely, and you can see Emma right here. She looks so incredibly strong. This is the Emma that we know. Again, like, she is a very fast miler in and of itself. And Carissa Schweitzer, you can see with teammate Emily McKay, they're really out here looking to see who's going to be at that top spot when it comes to the half-mile marker.
Not surprising to see Carissa Schweitzer out front. As you said, Alicia, she is someone that's coming down in distance, but we know that she has run very well over 1,500 meters and mile. Everyone wondering why we're talking 1,500 meters a lot. Well, the 1,500 meters is just a little bit short of the mile, but that's what you run at the Olympic Games. Emily McKay really pushing here, though. Carissa Schweitzer on her side. And then also Whitney Morgan. Whitney Morgan's coming off the Paris Olympics as well, where she ran the 5,000, but a very good 1,500 meter miler as well.
Absolutely. Coach Taylor is doing an incredible job with the BYU program, and especially with her elites after. And they've really shown a lot of confidence, not only in their strength and their endurance, but also in their capabilities with their speed. And if you see just behind Susan Ajori there, running very comfortable, and you actually want to bide your time, you know, as you walk into the second part of the event, when you get to that hill, you know, you want to know that you have enough left.
Susan Ajori there in the blue, Sam. She is one to watch. She's 6th in the 1,500 meters at the Paris Olympic Games. And then there's Sarah Healy. They went out very fast. The first 400 meters, under 60 seconds, 59 seconds. We're going to watch when they come up to this 800 meters in.
Schweitzer from Missouri. She went to Missouri. She's the world record in the women's 4x1500.
And I like this right now. Susan Ajori starting to nudge just out a little bit, maybe trying to get that bonus. She's got to run under 4:32 to bring home the $1,000 bonus. And we'll see if she gets through that 800 meters right there. And it looks like she will. But she is one to really watch. Going through right around, I think it was said 2:08. Wow, they're flying. But Susan Ajori has 2:07 is the actual split there that they went through 800 meters. But Susan Ajori done well at the 800 meters, the 1,500 meters. She's also very good at 3,000, even 5,000, has the strength and the speed. Look who's coming up, though.
This is going to be an incredible race. Again, Carissa Schweitzer is just a phenomenal athlete with such good range. We saw her in Zurich with that incredible kick, and if she's in the front, when it comes down to that final, 400 meters, she could be somebody that can really take this tape.
She has that strength, but this woman right here coming in the yellow, she is Dorcas Ewoy. She is a new name around here. She trains with the Puma Distance Elite. She has the Olympians Amy and Alistair Craig as their coaches. She has been on fire over here in the U.S. this summer, and she really is the new name on the block and is one that is definitely challenging today.
And there she is.
This is the point that you were talking about, Carrie, where you're staring at that finish line for so long. And really, this is the point where you're going to just really see them gritting it out. Right now, the fans are starting to get a little bit louder because they're really looking at these athletes. Who's showing the most grit and being the most, grittiest out there to really come out here and win today.
They went through the 1,200 as we are watching Dorcas Ewoy try to push in 3:12. Now that is close to record pace. The event record is held by Laura Muir of Great Britain, set in 2022 of 4:14. We have to watch that. This is that flat period. Carissa Schweitzer, can she use that 5,000 and 10,000 meter strength to come back on Dorcas Ewoy?
Dorcas Ewoy is coming along. She just looked over her shoulder.
And there's Carissa Schweitzer with that incredible kick.
And there is that kick. Carissa Schweitzer. And she,
look at the time.
4:14.
Wow, it's going to be close.
Wow.
It's going to be close.
Carissa Schweitzer crosses the tape first. Breaks the tape. The New Balance 5th Avenue mile.
Wow, what an incredible run by Carissa Schweitzer.
She is so experienced. She knows how to race. She is a two-time Olympian. And there it is, 4:14.8. The record is 4:14.8. We will have to wait to see confirmation on if she tied it, if she broke it, or if she just missed it. But what a powerful race, and also what a calculated race. She went out hard, she came back, and then she pushed again. I mean, she used that strength and speed.
Yes, and one thing that the team can be so excited about, Team USA can be so excited about, is that they are now the ones that are owning this championship title over Team GB.
And there is your pro results. 1, 2, and 3. Schweitzer 4:14.8. Dorcas Iwa 4:17.3. And Susan DeJory finishes third. But there is Schweitzer finishing first overall in her first New York Roadrunner event. Let's take another look at her crossing the tape and finishing. Carissa Schweitzer is your Fifth Avenue Mile champ, and there it is. We will be right back here. The New Balance Fifth Avenue Mile.
Save big on appliances at PC Richard & Son. All the brands you love at the guaranteed lowest prices, up to 40% off. The more you buy, the more you'll save. Up to $800 in additional savings on qualifying appliance purchases, plus special financing and free next-day delivery. And free installation on select dishwashers from our top brands. The Labor Day sale, now at PC Richard & Son.
What you got to say? Say, hey, hey, hey. Hollywood's
New Balance. We got now.
Hi, Eric.
Hi, Mel. Is now good for a quick catch-up on your plan?
Yes, now's great.
Has anything changed since we last spoke?
You know what? Yes, I'm thinking more long-term.
Great. We'll make that change to your plan and adjust as needed.
This helps a lot.
Bye, Mel.
Bye. Make sense of your money with Citizens.
What am I looking forward to in life?
Definitely college. Maybe like something with robotics.
I want to make people happy with my art.
I think that I can kind of handle anything.
I want to be a firefighter, a princess, a doctor.
New York Presbyterian will always be part of my story.
This is last year. This is Josh Kerr, and this is what he did to finish the New Balance Fifth Avenue Mile 3:47.9, the third fastest time in event history. He was your champion, looking for a repeat this year. Let's send it back over to Ryan Field with more.
All right, Sam, thanks. I feel like I need to go to my golf voice now because we are here at the start line with the professional men's field. These guys, game faces on, getting ready to go. And I think the first thing that jumps out at you, we are in the shade, and you can see these guys here if you want to go ahead and take a look. Everybody's trying to stay warm. In the shade here, you feel a stiff breeze, and while it's technically still summer, it certainly doesn't feel like it right here. So that's the first thing that jumps out at you. So these guys are getting loose. They're here at the start line, waiting for the gun to sound as we get ready to kick off the professional men's race here at the New Balance Fifth Avenue Mile. A lot of excitement here. We'll send it back to you ladies at the finish line.
All right, Ryan, as we take a look at the men all getting set, lined up, let's take a look at what we have to look forward to in this men's race, and a few faces to watch. Our top stories right here as Josh looks to defend that title we talked about.
Yeah, we have Hobbs Kessler in this with a 5,000, 10,000 meter. Incredible athlete that made it in both Paris 2024 games. We're looking at Bryce Hoppel here, the American record holder in the 800 meters. We saw how important that kick is in that final quarter. You can overtake just about anybody, especially if you're going for that first bonus there.
There's another name, Josh Uwe, a lot of people know him. He came out of high school and went pro and runs for Adidas now. He's had a phenomenal year. I think we need to watch him. He's right there in the middle by Eric Holt, who is also now a sponsored athlete, kind of a fan favorite at the Olympic trials this year, and he's such a great guy. But there's so many really good names. We do have those big names, right, with Josh Kerr and Hoppel and Hobbs, but I think there's a lot of names that could surprise and shake this up a little bit.
I know with Hoppel, he is an indoor 800-meter specialist, but little experience in 1,500 or the mile. How will that factor in today?
I think he's excited to be on the roads, and he's ready to end his season. And sometimes when you know that this is the last one, you just give it everything you have. So, yes, he is more of an 800-meter specialist, but you can never count him out.
And we're getting set for the men. The pro men's field getting ready to race. Final instructions.
On your mark.
As we take a look at them, they toe the line. And they're off. And here they come down Fifth Avenue.
One man we haven't mentioned, he's back behind Bryce Hoppels, who's in that black speed suit, Vinciati. Vinciati is a two-time U.S. road champion. So he hasn't maybe had the year he wanted. He was fourth at the Olympic trials, but he is a name that we do need to mention. He does so great. But Eric Holtz, not surprising to see him out. He was one of your picks.
He really is one of my picks. You know, Eric Holt is so scrappy, and he's always so excited to race. I got a chance to interview him at the U.S. Olympic trials, and I asked him what he thinks about before he races. He says, I don't think.
Oh, yeah. I love that advice. Yeah. I have coaches that say, don't think, just run.
Yeah.
But there's Josh Kerr right there alongside his right. And Kerr said a little earlier he has a few ideas for today's race. What do you think he's thinking right now?
I think he's ready for this season to be done. You know, he won the World Championships last year. He had that bronze medal from the Tokyo Games, and then he went and placed second in Paris. I think he's excited about this race, but I also think he's like, I can't wait for these 3 minutes and some seconds to be over.
Yeah, and we can't also forget about Robert Markin, as you see up there in the top three. You know, his 1,500-meter personal best is 3:32. He doesn't have a recorded time in the mile, but he is a very calculated racer.
Yeah, for sure. They went through the 457 seconds.
Wow. Doyle from Ireland is right there as well.
Yeah, Cathal Doyle, he's had a phenomenal year as well. He made that Olympic team, and he's excited about his future. The man there, Kemboy, he was the one that went through the 800 and first last year, so he got that bonus as they climb this hill. And you can see it here. It is definitely a bit of a climb, and it really puts the heaviness into those quads.
Yeah. You see Eric Holt here, they're all looking at that halfway bonus. He just misses it, as you can see him kind of go for that surge and then back off because he realized that he didn't get it over Doyle.
1:57 for the halfway.
Now, at this point in the race, they just went through that surge, and you're going to see these athletes really biding their time. They're going to really be looking to their right, to their left, really checking in on who's hunting them down. But Josh Kerr right now is looking like he may be the one to take it away, quite simply.
Yeah, Josh Kerr has so much strength, and he also just knows how to run this race. You know, 2 years ago, he fell at the line. He was very disappointed. It was slippery. But now he is now the defending champ, and he wants to run that way. But, yeah.
Take a look at Hobbs Kessler right now. Hobbs Kessler, he can run the 8. He can run the 15. He can run a good 5. And he is hunting down Josh Kerr.
Well, Hobbs Kessler is the world champion in the road mile, but right now it looks like Kerr has just a little bit more in him. He took a little bit of a look back, starting to push now through 3/4, went through in 2:51.
His time last year, 3:47.9 for Josh Kerr, the defending champ, as he makes his way down Fifth Avenue. 3:47.9, that was the third fastest time in event history. Here he is now putting the kick on along Fifth Avenue.
200 meters to go, and you know he knows what that feels like. He is so excited to get through this season. Woo!
And take a look at the clock. We were looking for a 3:45. There's a potential that we could see a record go down today.
Had that little look over his shoulder. He can hear the crowd. And here he is. He does it again. Josh Kerr, your defending champ, defends it as he is a back-to-back winner of the New Balance Fifth Avenue Mile, an unofficial course record. We told you last year's time was the third fastest in event history.
We're going to be taking a look at this clock.
3:44.3, his first place time, which is now being shown as a course record. Congratulations, Josh Kerr. Those ideas that he had in his mind, they paid off.
Well, listen, that record stood since 1981 by a Villanovan. I'm just going to say that's a pretty awesome goal. But Sydney Marie, the South American who did so much in the early 80s, that is a big name to take down, and a big name is Josh Kerr. We know him, and I love that he brought his fiance here. They're going to celebrate this amazing last 3 years, but next summer, what do we have? We have another World Championship, so he can't celebrate for too long. He's got to get back on the horse and get going again.
Absolutely. Josh Kerr is such a beautiful runner. That was just such a beautiful performance that he put together. I know coming just off of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games and winning that silver medal, he did a wonderful job, but we know that he wanted gold. So coming out here today, getting a course record, having a wonderful showing, I think that's a pretty nice way to end this.
To end the season that way. And we were saying, you know, he's so tidy and he's so fashionable right now. Like, he loves the camera, and we love watching him. So what a phenomenal race.
As he takes his victory lap, the course record, and a defending champ for Josh Kerr here.
And Uwe and Kemboy finishing in second and third. Awesome job.
We will be right back. So much more. There is a victorious Josh Kerr, the New Balance Fifth Avenue Mile. We're coming back with so much more after this. Congrats.
The New Balance Fifth Avenue Mile on ABC7 is sponsored by New Balance. We got now.
Hey, hey, hey. What you got to say? Say, hey, hey, hey. Hollywood's win.
New Balance. We got now.
It's fall in New York State, and you have to see it. Plan the perfect trip, or just jump in the car. Either way, it's going to be breathtaking. It's going to be an adventure you'll never forget. It's what makes it easy to love New York. Start your getaway at iloveny.com.
Welcome to the best season of the year. Football. Welcome to the comebacks, the stars, the exclusives, the comedy, and the best booth in the game.
Is that a new tie? Sure is.
Welcome to a dynasty in the making, a sibling rivalry for the ages. Welcome to the 2024 NFL season.
What are you doing?
Seriously?
These are my buttons. Only I press these buttons.
Our audience are the reason we do this show.
And we love hearing from you.
Live has fans everywhere talking. Entertaining, hilarious, and so fun to watch. Funniest couple since Lucy and Ricky.
Thanks for all the love.
We promise to bring more of what you love in the new season. Watch live, weekday mornings at 9.
On ABC7.
What a finish here for Carissa Schweitzer. A short time ago, the women's pro race at the New Balance Fifth Avenue Mile, 4:14.8 as she breaks the tape first. Congratulations, Carissa Schweitzer, who is standing by right now with our Allie Feller.
I am here at the finish line with our champion, Carissa Schweitzer. Carissa, congratulations. This has been one heck of a comeback tour. Doubling at the Olympics. Now we see you take the win here at Fifth Ave. What did it take to take the win today?
Yeah, I was just really excited to be out here. There's a lot of just like really good energy out there, and we went out really fast, and I knew if I just kept pressing the pace that it was going to come down to more of a strength race. So yeah, it was really fun out there.
You've dealt with so much, so many injuries over the past year, setbacks and comebacks. When you pictured the comeback, is this what it looked like?
Definitely not, but it's been good. There's been some hiccups in the spring, and I feel like I'm just getting started right now, which is like obviously the end of the seasons, but yeah, I'm just really excited for next year then.
This was your first road race here in New York City. What was it like?
I love the energy. I'll definitely be back.
Well, we can't wait to have you back. Carissa, it's been awesome seeing this epic comeback. Congratulations. We're so happy to have you here.
Yes, thank you.
Sam, back to you.
Thanks so much, Allie. What a great finish. And we just saw Josh Kerr moments ago. Not only repeating what he did last year as the men's champion here at the New Balance 5th Avenue Mile, but he bested that time out, and he bested all times as he has the new course record, 3:44.3 for Josh Kerr, finishing first yet again, and a thrilling finish here to finish first atop the leaderboard. Here's the top three from the pro men's race here along the New Balance 5th Avenue Mile, ahead of Josh Huey and Amon Kemboy. But your champion, Josh Kerr, is standing by right now with Allie Feller.
I am here with Josh Kerr, our defending champion, our repeat champion. Congratulations. What did it take to break that tape?
You know, it was staying relaxed early, like I said earlier, and then, you know, when I was kind of up near the front at halfway, I was like, you know what? Let's just go. I think it will be disguised as a halfway effort, and try and get the halfway bonus, and then hopefully I just keep pressing all the way in.
How did that effort feel for you today?
Look, I think running a road mile is very like specific, so it's very difficult to kind of gauge it a little bit. But you know, how many times am I gonna have to run down 5th Avenue in this pair of shoes before people realize it's the fastest mile shoe in the world? How many times? Hyperion Elites are the fastest mile shoe I've ever been in. I came with halfway and I was like, no one's gonna beat me today.
And no one did. That was an absolutely commanding win and so exciting to see. So what's going on with your season now? Can we ask what's next?
Yeah, that's me. That's me done. It's a wrap on 2024. You know, started here in February time, going after that 2-mile world record, and then finishing here with, you know, a mile course record. So, you know, I can't complain too much.
Absolutely no complaints. An amazing season, an amazing day today. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Back to you.
Well, that's a way to end your season. Put an exclamation point on it.
Yeah, he said, let's just go. And you know, when he says that, you better bring it because he's going to go, and he did fast. It was so fun.
And he said at the halfway point, he knew this was his race and he was going to take it.
Yeah, and you know, an incredible performance by Uwe.
Yeah.
Like, that was just missing the Olympic team, 4th place in 800 meters, coming to the 5th Avenue Mile, finishing a silver behind Josh Kerr.
I know.
I think this was a nice end to the season for the top
Exciting
three.
finish for him, and an exciting finish in the women's race as well. Let's take a look back at the women's pro field and that race that we just saw the finish of. One more time, a look at the women's professional race, and there they are all lined up and ready to go, and they are off before Carissa Schweitzer would take the lead. Let's take a look at the women's race here.
Yeah, watching as Mackay, Schweitzer, and Morgan took this race out pretty hard, but it was Carissa Schweitzer in the end that really held off a hard charge by Ewoy and Jory. They were moving, but look at the strength and the speed that Schweitzer had. I mean, she's just a phenomenal athlete, and she said she's just getting started, so we better watch out for 2025 already.
Yeah, we hardly spoke enough about Ewoy with that hard push at the end, pushed, you know, her to that course record.
And there's a look at the top 10 finishers in the pro women's mile here this afternoon. Emily Mackay, we saw her earlier in the lead. She finished 7th overall in this one.
Big race for Gracie Morris, one of our youngest in the crowd and in the race, and big shout out to her.
And your takeaway from the women's race today?
That was an absolutely incredible women's race. You know, one of my favorite parts about racing, especially when we get on the roads, is how you're able to see the field push themselves. And so, you know, we talked about Melissa Courtney Bryant just off the podium, but everybody was in the mix for a really fast race.
I'd have to say, I mean, give it up to Carissa Schweitzer. It has been a tough road back for her, and for her to get on that Olympic team in not one but 2 events, and then to come here and win this final event. And now I think we're going to see her in New York City a little bit more, because once you run one New York Roadrunner event, you come back for more.
Yes, absolutely. Let's take a look now at the men's pro race, the highlights from this one. We saw the interview that Allie just did with Josh Kerr moments ago. We saw how he finished. We saw how he started, but let's take a look at the field here and this race along Fifth Avenue.
Now we see Josh Kerr. He is just such a composed runner, and when you know he says, let's go, you can see that let's go really turning on those boosters. And after that, when you see that go on, it's going to be really hard to catch him.
And there he is, and no one could catch him. And he knew it. He told Allie about the halfway point that this was his to finish. We didn't talk about Josh Uwe much during this because he wasn't in the lead pack, but he did finish second. He did catch up and finish second, so a little bit about Josh.
Yeah, I think that it was so fun to see some of the people that were high-fiving Josh at the end, and they were so excited. I mean, he is kind of running royalty now. He really just knows how to tick off the box and to win or perform at the highest level. It was a great day.
What stood out to you today?
Well, you know, for me, it's the competition when they get to that halfway point and really looking to see who's going to take on that surge and if they can hold on. And who we saw hold on was the man that we call the victor, Josh Kerr.
I really thought Amon Kemboy, you know, he was the first man through the 800 meters last year to get that bonus, and he came back with kind of a chip on his shoulder, and he challenged in the final stages of going after Josh Kerr. I mean, we got to give it up to him, placing third today behind Josh Uwe. Really great race.
Let's not forget about the course record today, the conditions, the wind. I know the wind changed a little bit today as well, changed direction.
Yeah, they ended up with a little bit of a tailwind. When we got here, it was a side wind, then it went to a headwind, and that tailwind helped them through.
If anything, I would definitely appreciate a tailwind. So thank you so much when you're staring at that finish line for so long and you get a nice little boost across that finish line. I think that the men are happy, men and women are happy with that today.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have an American woman finishing here at the Fifth Avenue New Balance Mile for the first time since 2019. We have a course record on the men's side. Ryan Field, so much excitement here at the finish line. I know you saw it all begin at the start line. You saw the men and the women's pro fields before they started. We saw them finish, and wow, what a thrilling day today here along Fifth Avenue.
Yeah, you said it, Sam, and thrilling is a great word for it. You talk about just a perfect Sunday afternoon here for early September in New York City. The weather was great. The races were great. And when you talk about drawing up an ideal scenario for this great race, I think we watched it all unfold here this afternoon.
Hey, I know you saw the men and the women before they started, specifically the men, Josh Kerr. We saw the course record. What was his demeanor right before the start with you standing there?
Yeah, I think we talked about it. Just their game faces, and they were all trying to stay warm. In fact, I was getting ready to run because it was so chilly up here at the start line. But listen, you knew that he was going to bring it today. We saw it at the start line, and we certainly saw it at the finish line. Josh Kerr again, proving he is the man to beat here at the New Balance Fifth Avenue Mile. What a great day in our great city as we talk about this race that we brought you right here on Channel 7 and on ESPN Plus. A big thank you to the ladies in the booth. Great job today calling the race, and we saw a lot of things unfold here this afternoon on the streets of Manhattan. So with that, we are getting ready to close things out in what has been a fun afternoon here for the TCS. I'm already in the marathon mode talking about the TCS New York City Marathon. That is in 8 weeks from today. You can hear people talking about it out here on the race. There is already excitement building for that great race. Hard to believe, yes, just 56 days from today, as our race director Ted Metellus told us. The TCS New York City Marathon going to be here before we know it. That's it for all of us here on Channel 7. For Sam Ryan, Kerry Tullison, Alicia Montano, and Ali Feller, I'm Ryan.
Good news travels fast. Literally. Optimum now has the fastest internet. PC Magazine named us the best and fastest internet provider. And Ookla ranked Optimum Fiber speeds the fastest and most reliable. See for yourself and get fiber internet starting at only $40 a month. Not convinced yet?